pretty wimpy raid, Snow. Alright, yes, I said starting, and we didn't get started. Right, officially start, right now. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for making it. As a reminder, we will be playing every Saturday from this time slot from 1 to 4 Pacific time.
We're going 3 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes we'll go longer, sometimes we won't. Generally speaking, we'll go 3 hours from 1 to 4. Barring like extenuating circumstances, one way or the other. For example, there might be times we might be able to play longer, or due to just reasons we may end up playing shorter or whatever have you. But generally speaking, it'll be every Saturday from 1 to 4. And I guess that's all there is to say about that. Oh yes, and since we're here and I imagine that the record is rolling, Midnight will be filling in. If someone can't make it for a session, Midnight will basically fill in for that session, since he's sort of the backup in case someone has to drop out of the campaign. And speaking of which, I need to update your role. It's Midnight. Get rid of that.
Photo flute. Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. So I tried to use the desktop version of Discord, on the browser version on my phone, and it didn't like it very much. It was really buggy. It was seriously an accomplishment that I was able to give you the actual feat of Foenum roll. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. To set the mood, let's listen to some character themes, yeah?
Sure.
Yay!
Let's see here. Jump to
Bam.
this.
You got it done, right? Oh, he's not even here.
Yes,
Yeah.
actually,
Whoa.
I actually poked him specifically about that. Actually, well, you should probably talk to Andy rather than I.
Do we get Dandy's theme yet?
Yeah, I'm just going with the original.
Okay.
That said, here are the theme songs as provided by Vamp for our various characters various PCs. Thank you. We'll be playing in this session, or in this particular campaign. Wow, I really need to wake up. No?
Get some coffee.
You may also want to announce them before you play them. Like which character it's for.
Can I? Did you not? Discord. What are you doing? Discord.
I'm right here. I'm doing
Go
nothing.
to the post. Let me copy. Okay. Could someone tell Bard to play the character themes? Because apparently the Discord of my end is being obstinate and doesn't want to do right. You should be able to go to the pins and grab the link. Make sure you grab Act 2, not Act 1. It'd be a little awkward otherwise.
Well, we do need core vines from Act 1, don't we?
No, I believe
It's in Act 2 as well, I think.
Okay.
I believe Vamp did that. Discord. Ugh.
I'm not on it.
Hey guys, it's me, Discord.
He was nearly
Jeez.
sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon.
No, Discord. Why am I sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon? I think that's the line, anyways.
That's Discord. I'm howling at the moon and sleeping
And
in the
sleeping
middle
in
of a
the-
summer afternoon.
Okay, all right. Well,
Whatever did we do to make you take our world away?
Yep. That is completely 100% accurate.
that is a.
That the Super Pony beat used to be my workout music, so I've heard that song a lot.
Oh,
Guess
Okay.
what? It's still a bad song.
well, now
Exercise.
now that we know, Never Stars is swole and has mighty wings.
You don't need exercise when you're constantly on the battlefield.
Just want.
The battlefield of love.
Could someone? Because apparently Discord will not let me jump to the pinned message.
Is anyone gonna do that?
I'm not.
Oh, I'm
I've
not.
never messed with Bard, so I have no idea how.
Okay, well, if someone could at least like repost the link, then that would be nice.
Here's the link again.
Here, we'll just listen
Thank
it
you.
by going.
Okay. Oh, wrong link. That's Act 1.
What? I tried my best.
Act 2 is right below that on the.
Yes, you don't fail if you don't try.
Take 2.
Okay, there we go. All right. I mostly need it so I know who we're listening to. So I don't sit here and like guess like, oh, now we're listening to Sae's theme. Yeah, totes. Okay. Copy link.
Pause the music in the background.
All right. So, the themes we'll be listening to will be in the following order. Well, actually, it'll be Amber's theme first, followed by Guang, followed by Corvines, then Nose, then Dandies.
Any day now.
Is it not playing?
It's good.
It is.
Okay. All right, so that was Amber's theme. On to Guang's theme. Since I'm not a DJ and have fancy things to say.
Welcome to Galaxy News Radio.
Coming to you from Woshan.
Yo, straight out of Hoshan. Next, we have the lovely Corvines theme. We have no theme. And finally, we have Dandy's theme. And there we have it. There's your character themes. As the creator himself just joins us right at the very end. And I missed out on pretty much all of his music.
You missed all your music.
So Vamp, when are we getting a version of Dandy's theme played on the Genesis chip?
Never. Never ever. And never ever ever. Thank you for listening to my music. Bye. I gotta go.
I
Bye.
love you.
To be fair, he did.
Sentai.
To be fair, he did mention to me that he might be able to pop in for a very short time. It's just by sheer coincidence he happened to pop in right as the music ended. So, kind of a happy accident, all things considered.
Yes, it's happy whenever Vamp doesn't get nice things.
Let's get down to business, shall we?
To defeat the predators.
Pretty much.
To defeat the
Now, an ironic twist of fate.
The hounds.
Closing Discord because I'm going to be tempted to like read the silly shenanigans that go on while DMing. That's going to end well. I've determined from this day forward, if I'm going to DM, I either going to DM on a good night's sleep or no sleep. I am not going to DM ever again on insufficient sleep.
But that's when the dream sequences happen.
Yeah,
You just have to DM in your sleep.
I never did I ever pin the okay, I did, cool.
Full 20 link?
Yes, I did.
In the what?
That's the most
Oh.
recent pin, it looks like.
Alright, when we last left off, you guys had helped, well, due to your direct intervention, House Winterfrost had not utterly annihilated itself. Not for lack of trying, mind you, but it tried. And you guys were there to stop it. There's no question that the once mighty house is no longer really a thing. About 90% of the complex has been destroyed by flames. And I believe it was around 50% of the staff have vanished, and the staff and family have vanished in the fighting that broke out. And right before we left, No had gone off to his guild to speak with his fellow guild members and advised them to start preparing for various healing items because, I suspect it was out of foresight in regards to the recent tragedy that unfolded. And I believe that is about where we pick up. I'm racking my brain to make sure I'm not forgetting anything else that might be important or prudent. Oh yes, and then of course there's various other things that happened, like, I don't know, Oystein, Grey Sky murdering Duke Winterfrost right in front of your eyes, and then discovering that there's something evil going on in this city, and you guys deciding that, we should, Johan was like, well, you guys should go to, here's three ideas, and you're like, we should go to House Spa, because they're the ones that are supposed to know everything that's going on in the city. And then y'all teleported back, and then, oh no, House Winterfrost is on fire, and you went and saved people. Totally accurate representation of what happened.
Spot on.
That said, the flames have mostly died down at this point. The reindeer who you've talked sense into have begun using their ice magic to try and put out the fire and salvage what little is left to be salvaged. I feel it prudent to offer a reminder that the rank and file reindeer has a comparatively limited amount of magic compared to Velvet and the Them's Fighting Herds game, where she is something of a I guess Paragon?
Prodigy?
There we go, yes. She has an extraordinary amount of power compared to her rank and file reindeer. And
Pinnacle.
Yes, that's
Lots of
probably a
keywords
fair
to
point.
choose from.
But the reindeer, with the exception of Velvet, tend to be a more brawn than brain kind of people. Or at least that's who they like to see as far as their champions is concerned. That said, the ball is basically in your court. although I probably should. Yes. So the infighting, if you will recall, was basically initiated by 3 individuals. Oop, that's not the right information.
2 of which are dead.
Yes, 2 of which are dead. Specifically, that's not it. Here we are. Elin Thork, who was the head of security, and she was basically the captain of the guard for the Winterfrost family, and was also the captain of the city guard before the city guard was moved out of the Winterfrost family. She had wanted to basically make the Winterfrost family the new monarchy of Rain. That was her goal. Niels Winterfrost, who had said, well, our purpose as a family we don't really have a purpose anymore, so our best solution is to peacefully dissolve and become absorbed into the city and the other noble families. He's dead now. And Yana Winterfrost, who she just had aspirations of power. It was fairly common knowledge that she had eyes upon the throne of Rain, as it were, and possibly beyond. She's dead now.
Wait, one of them survived.
Yes. Elin Thork is the one who survived. And Vixen was brought up. And
She was.
yes, and I remained silent on my answer, and I now have more information since I suspect you would inquire after her specifically.
You suspect correctly.
So Vixen, first off, Vixen is 22 years old. And as a reminder,
Dear age slower.
yes. Well, again, if a reindeer doesn't have golden oats to live on, and they live, say, in a slightly more rougher situation, they age to about 20, which is the normal age for ungulates, more or less, before they succumb to old age. That said, Vixen, like other good reindeer in Rain, has grown up on a nice diet of golden oats. So she is, if I were to compare to human years, she's not 22, but she's probably more akin to
30-ish.
Yeah, probably mid to late 20s. And prior to meeting you, Baiguang, she was a notorious flirt, and she enjoyed, as a pastime, she actually enjoyed driving the hearts of local bucks. There we go, local bucks crazy, as well as their girlfriends when they would draw the eyes of their boyfriends. There's nothing necessarily malicious. She just, she liked to stir the pot a little bit, as it were. And after meeting you, she sort of stopped that for a bit, because she was like, "Oh, this is like the first time I actually had someone be legit sweet on me for an extended period of time." That said, to give you a little bit of background, she actually goes by Vixen Snowdawn versus Vixen Winterfrost. The reason being is when she was very young, and you would know this because she would have told you this, and it's not exactly uncommon knowledge because it's a rather uncommon situation. At a fairly young age, she was kind of adopted by Snowdawn, in that she was apprenticed to them fairly early on in her life, and she stayed that way for basically the majority of her life, about 50-60% of her life. And as a result, she ended up taking this Snowdawn name. And a little while ago, she came back to Winterfrost and lived in Winterfrost, and she technically lives, that's where she makes her home. But she doesn't really have any Winterfrost responsibilities per se. So she is technically a Winterfrost, but she runs around with the Snow Dawn last name. I should also mention that Duke Winterfrost had no direct descendants. Pretty much all there was 3 distant relatives. Well, distant being a relative word, and that they were all basically children of his now deceased siblings, which is part of the problem why the house fell apart, because there's no clear successor as to who should claim the house.
Gotcha.
But now there is.
That said, you do not find her corpse among the. You do not find her corpse among the
Among
dead,
the piles of corpse.
nor do you find her amongst the survivors.
I see.
That said,
Your princess is in another castle.
now the stage is set. I suppose you guys could. Hold on. I suppose you guys could talk to Elin if you wanted to. Talk to the survivors, move on to House Spa, or whatever else floats your boat.
What time is it?
Adventure time.
It is. Let's see. We'll say the meeting with Duke Winterfrost happened mid-morning, because that sounds like a good time. You chilled at Vesper's house for about an hour, and then you guys help stop all this, which didn't take a ton of time because combat flows fairly quickly. So we'll say it's about early to mid-afternoonish. We'll say about
Yeah, sounds about right.
About maybe 1-ish, 1 to 2, somewhere along those lines.
Sounds
Makes
about
sense
right.
since we recently ate, courtesy of Dandy.
Woo!
I should eat. I'm hungry. All right. So who is doing what? Well, that's a good thing to do. There's a whole heck of a lot of smoke in the air.
I presume Baiguang is occupied looking around and asking around for Vixen for the meanwhile.
Give me an investigation check.
Oh, okay.
Actually,
almost proficiency in that.
You said are you inquiring about her or looking for her? Those are two very important distinctions.
Well, I imagine I've already looked, so I suppose I'm inquiring now.
All right, then that would be a persuasion check, I suppose, since you're actually talking to people.
I think it's still investigation, but persuasion is a better roll for me, so I'll take it.
Inquiring for I was about to say a Pathfinder thing, but whatever.
Yeah, no, Pathfinder would not be the right system for this.
Yeah, I would say either persuasion, investigation, or intimidation. If you wanted to corner people, you're like, tell me where I'll cut you like a fish. Tell me where she is, I'll cut you like a fish. There we go.
I'm not going to do that one, so I'll stick with that persuasion roll I just made already.
Cool. Is there anything anybody wants to do right before or while he's doing it?
I think I'm going to see what Baiguang is doing.
And I'm going to be heading out to look for the friend.
Very good.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Noah and Amber, are you guys doing anything in particular?
I'll be returning from my guild, unless if they are willing to supply me with some healing magic items.
Oh yes, I need dice, don't I? I should have dice out in front of me.
Dice, baby, dice.
But that said, give me an kind of checking.
Mm-hmm.
But by the way, what I was gonna say is that inquiring for information from a crowd is in Pathfinder, grouped under diplomacy.
Oh dear.
So it's like.
Well, also, investigation in 5e is looking around for clues and making deductions based on those clues. So it's most likely not just for asking someone where someone else is.
I mean, I agree in that I don't think investigation is necessarily the right skill, but I like to give a variety of choices.
Well, yeah.
And I could see someone making a hard argument for it.
For what?
For using investigation.
Yes, to.
But yeah, having multiple
question
skills
others about
is
it.
better than being like, you need this one skill.
Different ways
Well,
to approach the same task.
Truth be told, as a DM, typically speaking, I usually pitch just one skill, but I intentionally diversify between 2 to 3 skills because I am aware that essentially several of you are relatively new to tabletop, so I want to give various options. Basically, I'm trying to be a nice DM.
Yeah, but also it's kind of good that way because certain things will have multiple skills that would be applicable.
That said, that roll that you made, Clint, was essentially to see if you could find / if your guild had / whatever else have you healing items, and unfortunately it appears the only thing that they have are a series of poisons on Hoof. Sorry. And your guild master pretty much says, don't ask why we have poisons available at the moment. It's a long story.
No matter, they're just as useful as healing potions, right?
You don't need to take them, even though you fumbled. You don't actually need to take the. You are well aware that it is counterintuitive to the situation on hand.
I'll go back to the ruined house and help out where I can.
All right. And Amber, do you have anything in particular that you would like to do while all this is going on? Yeah, I should probably have Discord open just so I can see people's responses.
I'm gonna close Discord. Now I'm gonna open it.
Cheeky Vesper, very cheeky.
Yes, that is kind of.
All right. In the absence of an answer, I will assume simply being an observer. Baiguang, in
Yes.
your inquiries, you discover that apparently, quickly, I'm deciding a time frame here. Apparently, yesterday, Vixen was at the home, but she said that she was leaving and going on vacation.
Ha.
But no one seems to know. No one seems to know where she has gone to. She just said that she was leaving on vacation and left, and now a couple of reindeer are like, now that I think about it, it's awfully convenient.
Surely you can't think she had anything to do with this.
No. It's just strange that it just seems like really good timing, like I don't know. Look, I'm probably just blowing icicles, you know what I mean?
Indeed. Well,
No.
It is nice to know that she is most likely safe. So thank you for that.
Happy to help, I guess.
Oh, this is a bad time to point it out.
Okay.
Halloween costumes.
I was just about to mention that. And I looked over and saw your name. Yeah, since Halloween is right around the corner, just for kicks and giggles, y'all can be in costume. And we'll just, hand wave and sweep under the rug where you got those costumes, and we'll just, Everyone's in costume this session, and that has no actual like RP ramifications. In fact, the guy you're talking to is dressed as a clown for some reason.
Corvine's cloak is red.
Oh no.
Okay, that explains why Pizza left roll d20. And also the lack of "what are you doing" response.
What happened?
Pizza disconnected.
Oh.
And but we'll talk about that in a bit. We've already lost on a large chunk of game time. Let's see. I believe Dandy, you were following Baiguang as he was going to business. Oh yes, and Corvine, you were going to go talk to your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Give me
Snowflake.
give
So
me
what? Sorry.
give me a question. Was Snowflake with you when you met the Duke?
No.
Okay. Then in that case, give me a perception, investigation, or persuasion check to find your
Persuasion.
yes. Simply
Persuasion.
because it appears that he's not where you left him.
Persuasion.
Wow, that's a pretty good persuasion. All right, that'll work. A brief inquiry tells you that he apparently once the fighting started, he relocated to, after a few more inquiries, basically a much safer location. He'd found something of a smaller alleyway with which to shove himself into to more or less protect himself as well as the goods he is carrying.
Goods. Quote unquote.
So finding him isn't much of an issue.
It's merchandise.
In fact, when you do find him, as I presume you go all the way to actually locate him,
Yeah.
he appears to be sort of sitting on the ground, sort of, well, relatively calm. He's a little concerned, but he's relatively calm, and upon seeing you, visibly relaxes a decent amount. And
Then he sees all the blood on you.
No, he doesn't, because it's red.
Exactly. It all fits together.
it's dark. It's dark red stains in your bright red outfit.
It's the Deadpool strategy.
It's tie-dye.
Yeah,
Just wear
it's
red.
difficult. So that way people can't see you bleed.
Exactly. And before I voice him, did you have any particular voice in mind?
Oh, he's a cow, so I
All right.
figured that would be the cow.
Generic deep voice it is. It's a pity I'm not actually from the state he's named after, or else I could mimic their accent. Oh well.
I am. Does it sound like a bunch of an accent?
Yeah, fair. Anyways, as you approach, he looks up and cracks a big grin. Oh, Corvine, good. I was a little worried. Be unfortunate my boss died on me.
It's good to see you too, Washington.
I'd been waiting outside the Winterfrost home like you told me to, and suddenly, next thing I know it, I hear all the shouting and I start seeing flames, and I think it was a little before the door suddenly exploded. I decided I probably should hightail it out of there.
So that's what happened with the door. Well, I'm relatively fine now. There was a bit of assassination and a coup.
What? You can tell that's part authentic shock and part. I'm sorry. What? didn't quite understand that word. What?
Well, the Duke called us in, and then he was killed in front of us. Someone knew how to teleport, so that's how I got out. But then I decided to go back in to stop the bloodshed.
Oh. Oh. That explains the blood. Are you alright?
I'm fine now.
Huh.
I got a nick or two from the assassin, but it was alright.
Huh. Well, what's next, boss? You gonna be in town for a while?
Yes, actually. I need to do something with people for the Duke who died. If you don't mind the extra company, could use the carriage.
Say that one more time, please. Sorry,
If you don't mind the extra company, we could use the carriage.
Oh. So you want me to just follow you around town kind of thing?
Kind of.
Yeah, alright, I was just gonna park it and find a place to stay for a while, but if that's what you want, sure. You're the boss.
Thank you.
So, I guess we're heading out.
We're heading back to the manor now that the fighting's died down to pick them up, and then we'll head on to Ba, I think.
Alright. I'm guessing it's relatively safe now.
It is. We managed to calm the fighting down.
Alright, well, he gets up and hitches himself back to the cart. After you!
Okay. So she climbs into the upper part.
So
Or,
we're,
right. Yeah.
We're heading directly into the house, right? I assume we're not just hanging outside the gates?
It doesn't particularly matter, but perhaps heading in a little bit would be nice to let them know we're here.
Alright. With that, he gets moving. Before we have everyone conveniently reconvene,
Also, Corvine needs.
Is there anything anybody wants to do while Corvine is doing this?
Would this be a good time to ask Bygone what he's doing?
I believe so.
What you doing, man?
Bygone.
Yes, Dandy, was it?
Mm-hmm. You seem to be looking for something. I mean, like, I know everyone's doing something right now, but you seem worried, especially so. You know?
Oh, yes. A close friend of mine is a member of House Winterblood, and I was inquiring after her.
Winterfrost.
Yes, that one. What did I say? Winterblood?
Yes.
Yeah, you did.
And suddenly the heavens spoke.
Well,
Winterfrost.
it's on the screen looking at me. So.
It's okay. Technically, Winterblood was said some. No, was it? Anyways, continue. Sorry.
I suppose I could help look for her while everyone's doing this.
I appreciate it. Apparently, she is out of town today, which, thank goodness for that. I was afraid she might have gotten caught up in the fighting, but I
Out
didn't
of
see her
town.
anywhere.
Huh. She's out of town today?
Yes, I'm
When was the
told
last time
she
you
left
saw her?
yesterday.
When was the last time you saw her?
Last time I was in Rain, so it's been a couple of months.
Hmm. I don't know.
You seem like there's something on your mind.
It all seemed a little. Did you find out when she went on vacation?
She set off yesterday.
Something smells a little bit suspicious here.
Yes, well, that's your opinion. And Baiguan is visibly done with the conversation.
Hey,
He doesn't like the direction it was going.
hey, I'm just
People making
saying.
accusations and insinuations.
Look, you know her better than I do.
Indeed.
Wait, shoot. I don't know gender. I don't
So-
know gender. Do I?
I think I said she.
Well,
You know her better.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know her. As I was saying, you know her better than I do. I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
I'll go other places.
I'll go over
Yes,
there now.
And Dandy awkwardly walks out.
All right.
To do
Then yes.
to do other things, I guess.
All right.
I guess now Baiguang doesn't have any good way to put out large fires, but as he's kind of milling about, if he sees any like small smoldering bits that haven't quite gone out, he can extinguish those. With
Just consume the fuel. That'll get rid of it. Totally.
This isn't fairy tale.
No, consume the fuel. He means eat the bodies if they're on fire.
That's not what I meant, but it is now. All right. So after some time, not too much time, a large carriage rolls into the complex. Like, this thing is almost a small house on wheels. Like, it's 2 stories tall. Is being pulled by an extraordinarily large bull. Bull being a bullvine, since you guys pointed out that using bull for reindeer might be a little confusing. And sort of just stops itself. And the bull pulling it turns its head back. All right, we're here, boss.
Okay, so a window in the top one kind of slides open with curtains pulled back. She waves, "Over here!"
Well, that is very interesting.
Yeah,
Where did-
well,
Yes, I described the carriage in rather vague terms. Were there any specifics or greater details you wanted to add to it, Corvine?
it's got curtains.
Curtains for you.
And windows on the upper floor. Are there windows on the lower floor as well?
Yes, but those have open curtains.
So,
Right.
so yes, it is essentially as big as a carriage can get without being an actual house.
It's a double decker.
Yep, it's a
Is
double
it bright
decker.
red?
For today, it is.
Yes, for today it
Yes.
is.
That's its costume.
I'll figure out the color details later.
So yes,
Yeah.
Corvine has appeared in what appears to be an upper window and has greeted the lot of you.
Oh my.
Where did you get such a thing? That must have been expensive.
It was. It's there are these services that bring people in and out of rain with carriages, and I decided to buy one.
The cow holds up hoof. Hey,
Well, hello there.
Baiguang nods in greeting.
Hello.
that was more of a. That was both greeting, but also when Corey mentioned there are services that take you in and out, that was him basically like, hey, yo, that's me. That's my job. That's who I am.
Yeah, this Washington here was generous enough to allow me to pay for his services personally.
Is that how much you paid me? I'm almost set for life. Now, if I recall correctly, you invited people inside? You invited inside the carriage, did you not?
I do now.
Oh,
Yes, I said over here. So, yeah, that was the plan.
well, who wishes to enter the giant red double decker?
I think we were all just very impressed at the sudden appearance.
Do we need? Wait, where are we going with this again? Was there a specific destination in mind that was mentioned?
I think for now we're just getting inside the carriage.
No, there's.
The destination is presumably where we were told to go
Okay.
to investigate.
We still going to House Ba?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Are there any dissenting votes to that idea?
Nope.
No, I'll
So
go.
it's no actually back yet.
Yes. Noah's been
Okay.
back for a short time. Not very long, but he was there when basically your carriage made its not exactly grand appearance, but it was surprising nonetheless.
It was like, hey, there's a carriage now.
Almost a land boat. Almost. Alright, so might I presume everyone piles into the car?
Sure. Why
I
not?
believe so.
Well, I mean, if you don't want to, you can simply say so. That's fine.
Nah,
Baiguang is heading in.
Alright.
I've been flying for a while. It'll be nice for a quick ride.
What's the bottom floor like of this place, Corvine?
Interesting question.
Carriage equivalent of a limo.
Basically.
2-story limo.
Yeah, because it's basically supposed to be a service that nobles use to get in and out of rain.
Hold on, I'm looking at see if the 2-story limos are a thing.
2-story limos.
Is that? Oh gosh, it is a thing!
What?
You maniacs! What?
You blew it all up.
Apparently someone converted a Hummer and giant monstrosity of a creature.
Oh yeah.
What the?
Well, that
Yeah, Hummer limos are a thing.
I knew
Just
Hummer
didn't know they
limos were a
two
thing.
stories.
At least this looks like it's 2 stories. That or some very tall people are chilling out in it.
The limo with standing room.
It is.
Oh, see, it's not the limo that matters. It's the destination.
No,
Right.
it's not the limo that matters. It's the journey.
Journey before destination.
That looks like a cool vehicle, but we've gotten sidetracked.
This is
Yes,
completely on topic.
The bottom side. Well, actually,
It is kind of on topic, but still.
I've gotten sidetracked. There we go. Let's be a little more honest about this, shall we? Well, Midnight, if you happen to have said anything to me since I responded, I haven't noticed. I closed Discord shortly afterwards. So the downstairs. Really weird to say that in the context of a carriage. The downstairs is fairly nice. It's got plenty of places to sit. It's got some windows. It's got they've managed to shove in a couple of tables, and despite the number of things that are down there, it's all arranged in such ways so as to be so as to allow for relatively easy movement. And even with the 4 of you crowding in there, there's basically enough space for everyone.
There's also pillows.
Hmm?
There's also pillows for sleeping.
All right, luxurious pillows. At which point the bull up front shouts, "All right, where to, boss?"
Take us to House Ba.
House bar it is. With that, the carriage gets in motion.